5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to Island Tea. It's the nation's premier talk show. Don't forget, we're also simulcast on TVC, TV Caribbean Channel 40 on the cable's TV network. Yo!
Yes, good morning to everybody. Good morning. I wish the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis a pleasant morning. I was thinking about, something that I could share with persons this morning, and it's a quote that says, "You can't make a cloudy day a sunny day, but you can embrace it and decide it's going to be a good day after all." You can't make a cloudy day a sunny day, but you can embrace it and decide it's going to be a good day after all. When I read that quote, what came to my mind is that there are certain circumstances that are beyond our control. Of course, we do not control the weather. We do not control some situations in life, but it says to me that even in situations that are beyond our control, perhaps we want to go a certain direction, but we are seeing that we're going otherwise, or we have planned a certain thing, but we realize that circumstances have made our plans suffer some sort of impact. And so it really puts the focus on us to decide that regardless of what we meet, regardless of our circumstances, we are going to make the best of every situation. So I encourage persons out there, regardless of what you're going through, maybe a tough time, and to try to look for that silver lining, try to look for that positivity, that positive message that emulates from whatever journey or challenge you are facing. So pleasant morning, St. Christopher and Nevis. I was looking at the news, and there are certain things that really took my attention. I looked at Loop News. I also looked at WINNMedia SKN. And I know that there are some persons who have been following the Vice cartel case. And of course, we recognize that the matter was taken to the Privy Council. The Privy Council, based on what they found in relation to a juror, had put the matter back to the Court of Appeal for determination on retrial. And so here it says, cartel and co-accused return to Court of Appeal today in a fresh push for freedom. And this article was written on June 10th, 2024. And so it says that, and it's coming from the Jamaica, it's on WINNFM, but it seems like the source is the Jamaica Observer. And here it says, lawyers representing dancehall star Vice Cartel and his co-accused Sean Storm Campbell, Jones, and Andre St. John are headed to the Court of Appeal this morning. That would have been yesterday morning, in another bid to secure their freedom. It says, but prosecutors from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions will be in court trying to convince the panel of judges that the four should face a fresh trial for the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams. The Court of Appeal is scheduled to begin hearing arguments today to determine whether the order of a retrial for the four or set them free. The hearing is scheduled to last for 5 days, with lawyers on both sides having submitted skeleton arguments to the court last month. It says here, Carty and his co-accused are back before the Court of Appeal after a March 14 ruling by the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council that the appeals against their conviction should be allowed and their convictions quashed on the grounds of juror misconduct. The Privy Council further ruled that the case should be remitted to the Court of Appeal for it to decide whether to order a retrial of the men or a dismissal. And he says here, in April 2014, Cartel was sentenced to life in prison with eligibility of parole after serving 35 years. His co-accused were also handed life sentences, with Sean, Storm, and Jones being eligible for parole after 25 years, and St. John being eligible after serving 15 years. The four men first appealed their sentences to the Court of Appeal, but their convictions were upheld. They then journeyed to the Privy Council and argued various grounds, including the admissibility of telecommunication evidence, allegations of juror misconduct, and undue pressure on the jury to reach a verdict after a late retirement. So that's the article. And so based on what the article has said, what we have gathered from the article is the fact that the Court of Appeal is hearing the matter with attorneys on both sides, whether to have a retrial of the matter or to have a dismissal of it. So it's either they will go back for a retrial or the matter will be dismissed and the Cartel and his co-accused would be set free. So it's a very interesting time, I think, also in the jurisprudence of the Caribbean when it comes to this scope and, the criminal law. And really and truly, Jamaica has its Jamaica Court of Appeal. It has its Jamaica High Court. It also has the Privy Council as its final Court of Appeal. We recognize that matters as it relates to the Jamaica Court of Appeal, they are persuasive, and so our court will look towards them but are not binded by their decisions. We recognize, though, that any decision from the Privy Council, as the Privy Council is our final Court of Appeal, we are bound to its precedent unless that precedent can be distinguished.
So, question for you, but just some background. As we had, well, I think I had mentioned it a few weeks ago that they were going to start those deliberations yesterday. 5 days. So, by Friday we should know then.
Yeah,
whether they're going to retry or let them go.
Usually, what the court would ask both attorneys are on both sides. Attorneys on both sides is how long you think that this trial will take, and they will get an estimated time. So the estimated time is up to 5 days. It could be less, it could be more.
Okay.
Yeah.
In this. Okay.
It depends. It just
sort of like a maximum, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still an estimate. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Of course, we don't know what the defense would have, and of course, we've seen where the defense had even before tried to put in a writ to seek their freedom even before the matter had been returned, whereby they're saying that,
they're trying to get them bail.
Release,
pending,
bail and release as well.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because persons thought that after the Privy Council send it back down to the Court of Appeal for retrial, persons thought that Cartel and his co-accused would have been set free, at least until the determination, or some persons thought that he should be set free altogether.
What does your gut tell you? Oh, and let me give you some back. I don't know if you're looking at the same loop article I'm looking at. You see the picture there with the Jamaica Defense Force vehicles in front of the courthouse.
Yes.
Now, the last case they said was one of the longest cases ever. It was 65 days.
Yeah.
And it was very expensive. Given this, given the security precautions they're taking, and given the length and expense of the last case, what do you think might happen?
In terms of what specifically?
You think they'll retry him or they'll let them go? What do you think?
I think they are going to. Well, that's me. Just on a hunch based on
just how you what you feel based on what you know of Jamaica and based on the context.
Okay, so I make it
and the circumstances.
I say this in the instance that not being aware of the crucial facts within the case, not being aware of what the prosecution and defense counsels are coming with exactly. I think, uh, I think, based on what I've heard and read, it's once there's no serious miscarriage of justice, to me it would be safer for a retrial. If once there's no serious miscarriage of justice in granting or allowing that.
Everyone listen to AZ1's Vibes Guide to stay in jail. Just take note of this.
Of course, I have not said that. Yes. Yes. So once there's no serious miscarriage of justice in the whole proceedings, I think the defense would really have a uphill battle in not getting in getting the freedom and not the retrial. Because, of course, if you're saying that there was some misconduct in the jury findings and that the first trial was not fair, then, of course, and then I say all of this, not being aware of the intricate facts in the matter. Okay?
So you don't think the cost might play into it and the notoriety and all that? And we don't have to go through.
I think the serious question is whether or not there would be a miscarriage of justice in whatever decision is brought. And so I think the overriding principle would be, once there's no serious miscarriage of justice, that the legal process should be carried out and a determination in terms of so again, I make the disclaimer that I am not aware of the arguments that are going to be set forth by the prosecution in terms of other than what we have seen and read in the news presented before us.
Very interesting. And I never realized until I started following this week again, knowing that they started deliberations yesterday. Sean Storm, you saw her name, Sean Storm.
Yes.
That's a dancehall artist. And for some reason, I never realized that he was one of the people, because he's one of his friends. And
yes.
He was a dancehall artist as well. And then I said, oh, no wonder I haven't been hearing anything. I didn't realize he was one of them that was in jail.
Oh.
For some reason, I don't know why I never... It was probably never said. This is the first article I saw which actually said Sean Storm, whatever his last name is.
Yes.
So, okay. I also saw this story that I thought was interesting. St. Martin considers rental of portable electricity generation units. So St. Martin Soul Energy Company, that's GEBE, I don't know how they call it, GB or whatever, is exploring various solutions to fix the Caribbean islands load shedding woes. So I guess they have that issue over there as well. GB outlined its plan for short, mid, and long-term solutions during a Candid Conversations public information series at the University of St. Martin. The energy company said towards an immediate or short-term solution, it revisited an option previously considered, which includes entering into a rental agreement for portable electricity generating units. These units, which can either be sourced by Powerbolt or containerized, will provide an additional 20 megawatts, circumventing the shortage of 10 megawatts, and thereby provide GEBE with excess capacity to provide efficient services to customers. So, okay. And that was something that's been done here at times when we were experiencing shortfalls. One of the things I realized, that electricity went off, by me, went off twice.
Which days?
Sunday,
yes.
Twice on Sunday. And what I assume is happening is a lot of people are running AC units. I think that has a lot to do with it, honestly.
Yeah.
Sunday.
There was someone who said to me yesterday that since this extreme heat, she has not taken off
I
the
knew, I
AC.
knew that's what you were going to say. Yeah.
She has not taken off the AC.
Yeah. So
You
imagine,
understand?
and because I mean, a Sunday, a lot
Mhm.
of people home, and
Mhm.
so it went twice. So I remember thinking to myself, yeah.
This devastating impact, though, when we have the power outage during such a heat wave, is that the houses and being inside it, even outside, is extremely hot, and so you have
Yeah.
to be really in there, and whether you're out, whether you're in, and you find that the breeze, because usually before, even on hot days, once you have that breeze, the breeze cools the environment, but you realize that there's not a lot of wind blowing or breeze flowing, and so
But wait, but where you live should be pretty breezy.
no, but I'm just saying, no,
Yeah,
I'm just
'cause
saying generally
yeah.
that you don't have that breeze. I remember because while the power was out, because we had the convention for
Oh.
at PAM, and I was in Basti at the time.
Oh, so y'all lost power at that time too?
Well, we
Did you
did
guys
not have.
Did you guys have fans or
No,
AC?
we had a generator.
Oh,
We got a generator.
Oh,
But what I'm
okay.
saying, before the proceedings,
Mhm.
there was a power outage, and so that would have delayed the start of the convention, and especially our political leader, the new political leader, she arrived late because, of course, she was preparing, and electricity is needed, and of course she was so stunning in her appearance. She was preparing herself, and so the electricity went, and of course you had just had to think very quickly and immediately.
Let's see. Caller, are you there?
Mhm.
Yeah, man, we are listening to reasoning. Go on, reason.
Oh.
Go on, reason.
Yes, and so it just and then but everything picked up. We were able to get the generator, and then everything went extremely well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But y'all didn't have it. I was one that actually crossed my mind. Did you guys have fans or AC?
We didn't have fans.
Oh my
We
god.
didn't have fans.
So it was hot.
It was
were
hot.
you in the back or in the building?
No, we were in the back. We were on that tent. And so the tent
okay.
was
Okay, so that's a little better.
So it wasn't too bad in terms of the heat.
Okay.
Too bad, not too bad. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Caller,
Elder?
go ahead.
All right, give thanks for inviting us in.
Yes, no problem.
Okay, the heat thing, we need to be more, we need to be more outdoor. We need some more outdoor vibes, And breeze of blow, just to be perhaps where perhaps it depends on where you're there, but breeze of blow. Yeah,
breeze
we
blowing.
we just need to just deal with. Beg pardon?
I say you said breeze blowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breeze of blow. Just
Yeah.
depends on where you're there. Maybe you're in a space where the breeze not catch you, but breeze of blow.
Okay.
A bit more
Most
trees and all.
times I'm in Basti really at the office trying to get work done, or in Basti trying to do something.
Now that me say them kind of confined
Yeah.
prison kind of settings there. Yeah, you're not gonna
Yeah.
get the breeze. Breeze of blow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have to know to deal with the heat. We have to talk about the heat. Sometimes people body too, where people that eat and drink.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Too much salt and too much sweet and all them things there, What we try to do? Here's how we do it. When we find this kind of heat thing here, we just increase the bitters intake. Made an apple, we drink up some Cersei, drink some hot Cersei tea and sweat a little bit, and then we body cool again. Yeah. Yeah, people are consume add more heat to their body and then now realize it,
Also, we need to encourage persons to drink more water to hydrate themselves. You understand?
Much more water instead of this load of sweets and drinks and all them. Just consume water, nice spring water, jelly water. Yeah.
What I try to do early in the morning before I do anything or before I continue the rest of the day, I try to buy at least those 1.5 liter bottle and to say, I need to get this, I need to drink this before at least half, just a little before 12 or after 12. You understand? Just to ensure that I do not forget to, hydrate. Because, the day gets busy. Yeah.
Well, okay, but you depend on the language. You can go and see what you got through, you know. We hope you, when you get in them position there and you happy, you make a difference. Because we need politicians that going to make difference, you know. Yeah.
Thank you,
Like we
Elder.
said the other, yeah, man. Just like we said the other day, we look on some woman who got some woman who got 3-4 picnic and no father, and them a go through and make it happen and make the children them kind of people that will be right up there in terms of finance position. Not just people who carry documentation to their name and all them things that will run things. You got people, ordinary people who just go through the struggle and keep their head above water, them to be in position, them kind of position there too. And we realize this the trend over the years, you know, all the thing to the name, and when you look them now faithful, them now they really serve the people, them now serve the masses, like
So,
them now know the struggle.
so you say
Yeah.
it's more of a character than character matters most.
Yes, indeed. You're right. You're so right. All right. Cartel matter there. We listen to news too. Cartel matter there. Them prefer cartel and the youth there. Let's squash that. Them for just free them up. What gone by the morning can't come good the evening. Yeah, that man life was taken. Lizard get snubbed out. But Lizard was no saint, you know. And maybe in snubble people too. And all them thing there. So, you know, you can't tell for free. We also note in the news, we know the word enslavement came up in the news. Oh, before we go there, the 10th of June past 50, how much now? 57 years? 50 how much? Well, 10th of June 1967. How much years that, Star?
That is quite 67. So if you want to,
33,
that's 23 if you
33,
add it
and
to
then-
2000,
and
and then you
20,
add
and then
24.
It's a long
27?
time that we notice it pass without any railway. We here don't hold it for railway. I'm willing not forget that, you know. Make sure they hand the thing down there.
So I get,
Yeah.
I think it's like what 47 years, because if you 2000 minus
More than
19,
that, it's more than 47 because when you get 67, you have 33 on that.
yeah, 33.
Right?
Sorry, yeah, 33, and then you add the
Yeah,
24.
and that brings it
So
up
it's
to 2000, yeah, it's
it's what
24,
50?
yeah.
It's
Yeah, so
57.
it's more than that.
57.
More than that. Remember, you know,
No,
when we
about
was in
60.
the teens, you was going, it did
Oh,
happen.
no.
My sister,
Yeah.
them had a function at Green Corner. I still remember Green Corner by the corner there.
Yeah, where KFC is.
Yeah.
Where KFC is now, yeah.
No, man, Green Corner was up by the Western Union, be upstairs there at the time.
Western Union.
So Elder,
Right by the city
Elder,
corner, man.
Elder, it would be just for us to
Oh.
clarify. It would be 57 years since that date.
Yes, around that.
Yes.
Yeah, man, the Green Corner had a dime. I remember my sister, I got a sister, she's in America now. I think she go to it. My mother, Fred, me remember coming out and going to see, make sure my sister okay, me a little boy. But it did happen, and, you know, whatever caused it, it just shows that people going to resist. People going to resist anytime they feel down pressed. So we should try to avoid people being down pressed. And that leads me right into my next point. During the news, we heard the word enslavement. Some people was them treat them bad, and they was even enslaved. Sex
Yes.
slave and all kind of thing. And it reminds us of what we've been through for hundreds of years. Bob Marley thinks that we are the black survivors, and we don't overstand up to the time, right? They say it slavery it was done. How much years ago? We don't overstand up to the time. See, we just talk about the political thing a while ago. We don't overstand up to the time that people who are in authoritative position in the region where we were scattered. Yeah, we're still scattered and dispersed. how people don't understand the story, our story, what we've been through. And treat the masses, treat people as, watch out, we were seen as less than human, you know.
Yes.
We were seen as less than human. And now that we are in position where we come a long way, right? But we still have a long way to go.
Definitely.
And the people are not being treated right by now our own people. We still have this power struggle. We still have this limbo. We still have this class system. I mean, we need to move on.
For
we
real.
need to move on as a continental people.
Okay, Eli. Yeah, great.
Yeah, Elder, we'll have to break.
Because we have the doc. We have the doctor. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, before we break, I want to
and
send
understand.
condolences to the family of Jean Lewis of Middle Island. He will be laid to rest today, later this afternoon. Early this afternoon. So I want to send condolences. And of course, Jamso, we have recorded our 15th homicide. Yes.
I guess we'll talk about that after Weekly Dose. Wow.
So, Weekly Dose is not here.
From the South, 98.9
Let's go, Dad. I want to be early for school.
Is that my cologne? Didn't I give you money to buy your own?
I deposited that money on my Sure Start account from CIBC Caribbean. Dad, look how much I've saved. In another 10 years, I'll have money for...
Let's go. With time, you'll have enough to buy your old man a sports car.
Teach your children to save for the future. Open an account that grows with your little one. Choose Sure Start from CIBC Caribbean.
Studied hard at school, didn't wanna be a fool, but you're still not in the game. Girlfriend living large, big house and car, that's because she's in the game. Life seems real tough, bills keep going up, but you're still not in the game. It's not that hard for all that to change, it's time to get in the game. You have to be in it to win it. Super Lotto, in it to win it. Super Lotto, in it to win it. Super Lotto, you have to be in the game. Only $6 to play, so play today. Only $6 to play, so play today. Only $6 to play, so play today. You have to be in the game.
Get your tickets from Caribbean Lottery retailers island-wide.
Hit back.
8:33, and it's time for a Weekly Dose. And you got to pull a mic, Doc. You got to pull a mic, yeah. Okay.
Am I there? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's. How about you pull the other one? The next one. That one seems to be giving some trouble.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, and it's time for Weekly Dose. So how was your weekend?
It was active because I was on call all week.
Okay.
So, but it went well.
Okay, and so it's time to get into today's agenda on Weekly Dose.
Yes,
and
it is.
let me see what it is.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, so it's 8:34. Let's get into it here. I'm trying to find. Come on. My iPad is here giving me some trouble. Sometimes things come up on the screen. I was trying to see what your email said, and oh yeah, there we go. So we're discussing liver cancer today.
Yes, we
Yes, okay. So liver cancer. I thought that was something that was rare. It's not as rare as I think.
Well, it is. It is rare, but it is happening. So, and when you talk about and that's a good point, starting point, when you speak about in order of cancers in terms of frequency, that is pretty way down the line in terms of the list. in terms of frequency. But we've seen it represents about 1% of all cancers in the United States, and we've seen that it has been increasing over the last couple of years. And I brought this because I have had 2 cases of liver cancer in the past couple of months. So I met 2 patients, both gentlemen. One was in his 60s and the other 57. So both these patients presented, and one was more classic than the other in terms of the presentation. So this 57-year-old, he presented, came to see me. He was referred. He had significant weight loss, but however, he had a protuberant belly, so his tummy was pretty large, okay? And you could see that he looked ill. He was a bit pale and stuff. And looking at all of the investigations, as we discuss it, you'll see that it's a part of helping to make the diagnosis. A lot of the tumor markers that he had were significantly increased. Okay, and as we go into discussion and the different risk factors associated with it, he had some of these risk factors, okay? And as I evaluated him and I saw that he had a CT scan, he had abdominal ultrasound, and it described the tumor that was in the liver. Okay. And we made a diagnosis clinically, but one of the things we're going to learn about liver cancer, though rare, it is usually a late diagnosis of a case, and that presents its own difficulty in terms of treating it. By the time you would have made this diagnosis, often the patient is in a late stage of the disease. So that is why it is very interesting, and it is seen as one of the feared cancers.
Okay. So, I guess in a way, we pretty much have established that liver cancer is cancer of the liver. So
so malignant cells develop, multiply, and grow, and change in the normal cells of the liver to these abnormal cells. Mm-hmm. Okay, we know that. We've spoken about different type of cancer. There's changes in the DNA structures of the cells because everything starts within the genes, and there's mutations. So the abnormal cells are not killed off; they continue to grow and multiply and change in the whole structure of the tissue or the organ where it begins. So we have 2 main types of liver cancer. We have primary, that is the cancer that starts originally in the liver. And we have what we call secondary. And you've heard of secondary quite a lot, where you hear that the cancer from another organ spreads to the liver, and that is very common. So the liver is one of the main organs that gets or picks up this disease spread. So you would hear persons who have breast cancer, and it has spread to the liver. You've got lung cancer, you have colon cancer. So in that instance, it's a secondary tumor as a result of a primary. But primary liver tumors that starts originally in the liver, it's pretty rare though it has been increasing.
Okay. So what are the main functions of the liver?
Yes, so the main function of the liver, it's a good thing to know that the liver has significant functions. Why? Because it's the largest organ in your body, and it's an organ that we cannot live without. It's important in terms of digesting food. It has a lot of functions. So it collects and filters the blood that flows from the intestine. That is why a lot of the cancers that is in the colon gets deposited in the liver, because it collects all of the blood. It filters the nutrients, okay? It stores what it needs to store. It processes the stuff that your bowels absorb. So it changes some of the nutrients to energy. Sometimes when you need energy, it breaks down some of these nutrients. It sometimes stores these nutrients. It also is responsible for creating bile, which we know that is responsible for breaking down fats in the food that we eat, okay? So, and it stores and it digests things like the sugars that we use to make energy. Okay, and it also made some important substances that is there or necessary for when your blood needs to clot. You always hear about the clotting factors that are there in the liver. So it has quite a bit of function. And once the liver cells that are called hepatocytes are damaged, they're not functioning as they should, and then it affects the entire system.
Is that where glycogen is made?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So then,
some of my
from your biology and chemistry, yes. So there are some main types of cancer. We have, which most person would have heard about, hepatocellular carcinoma. So that's of the cells of the liver. There is another cell that type that is called intrahepatic cancer. It begins in the ducts that are inside the liver. So there are lots of little ducts that comes together that are inside the liver itself. And if a cancer starts here, it's an intrahepatic cancer of the liver. And then a third one, which is even rarer, it starts in the blood cells. So it's called an angiosarcoma. So most of the times you hear about liver cancer, you're thinking about hepatocellular carcinoma. It's a big word. Sometimes you would hear somebody say hepatoma, but it's a cancer that begins in the cells of the liver.
Okay. And so tell us some risk factors. I mean,
Yes. So that is important to know, because most of these cancers, we know that they may, it's hard to determine who would develop this cancer, but the associated risk factors, who would be more at risk. Usually it's males as compared to females. So both patients that I spoke about were both males. So it's more common in male. And as you advance in age, between the age of 55 to around 64. And another thing that are risk factors that you may have heard about is these hepatitis viruses. These are viruses that attack the liver. So you've heard of hepatitis B virus and hepatitis C viruses. Okay, so hepatitis B usually is transmitted sexually, so we have to always be aware that you can have that during sexual contact. And oftentimes it can be acute or it can be chronic, because sometimes the body can clear it, but if the body doesn't clear it, it becomes chronic, and that virus can create damage at a cellular level and then can lead over time to the formation of a cancer. It is associated with blood transfusion. It is associated with sexually transmitted contact. It is associated with persons who use drugs and have contaminated needles and stuff like that. So, and hepatitis B, C virus becomes quite chronic in cases, okay? And it is often seen in some of the developing countries. And it can be spread in shared needles. I remember back in the day, in some of the really poor countries, you would have to sterilize or reuse needles before persons were able to get all of these needles that we can just use and dispose of. So we had those needles that we used to have to sterilize, and sometimes if they weren't properly cleaned, some of these were past this contamination and this virus. Persons beforehand to, blood is now screened for all of these diseases, but persons may have contacted or contracted hepatitis B or C via a blood transfusion if it wasn't screened.
no, you said it affects men more than women. Why is that?
Why is that? Well, there is no particular data that I came across. Why? Because sometimes you've heard it, like, for example, pancreatic cancer is seen slightly more in male and female esophageal cancer. I think may be associated, I may be guessing, but some of the same risk factors men are more at risk. When you think about things like alcoholism, it tends to affect males more. Alcoholism is another risk factor associated with cancer of the liver. Okay, persons who abuse alcohol, they have an increased risk of developing liver cirrhosis. You would have heard that, where there is scarring in the liver and damage to the liver cells, and that can later go on to become lead to liver cancer. So those are some of the factors that may predispose the males of having more chances of developing that. And different toxins, you've heard about this, the word may sound fancy, aflatoxin B, so it's increase your risk of developing cancers. It's contained in certain foods, like a poison from fungus that grows on food like corn, nuts, and that have been stored in hot, humid places. So some of these aflatoxins is more common in the sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, and China. And we've also heard about fatty liver disease. You've heard about that. Some persons, that it increases your risk of developing cancer, associated liver cancer. So there are many risk factors that you know that cigarette smoking is another one too, and some rare genetic disorders. But most of the common ones we've mentioned, advanced age, male gender, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, alcoholism, and smoking. Those are some of the more frequent ones.
Smoking?
Yes, smoking. Remember we said before that you could always throw smoking in the mix when it comes to any cancer. It increases your risk, yes?
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. So what are some of the symptoms? Oh, well, what are the symptoms of liver cancer?
Yes, well, the thing about liver cancer that makes it so interesting, because the liver is such a big organ, it can function quite well even with less than 50% of the cells intact. So why this is so, making it much more difficult to diagnose. So by the time it is diagnosed, at least it is pretty advanced oftentimes. So the person begins to lose weight. They feel that they're getting really tired. Their energy is not the same as before. Their blood count starts going down. So this is what we call anemia. Okay, they start feeling this lump or this swelling in their belly because the liver becomes enlarged. We call that hepatomegaly. Sometimes you realize you're losing weight, but your waistline becomes tighter, like your belly feels swollen. And what is that? It developing fluid inside, which we call ascites. That is very common seen in liver cancer. As the liver cells are damaged, you have this extra secretion of fluid, and the fluid is not reabsorbed, so your tummy becomes so distended. So you'll see this person who's slim with a protruding tummy, and it's kind of something that would always give you like, this doesn't look normal in someone, who was previously healthy and well. So that person becomes fatigued. That person can have nausea, loss of appetite, and they can start to have darkening of the yellowing of the eyes. We call jaundice, and the urine may be darker than usual, okay? And some of these symptoms will then lead you to start to do your investigation.
Okay. So, folks, you're just joining us, 8:46. It's Weekly Dose with Dr. Natalie Osmond, and we're discussing liver cancer today. So how is liver cancer diagnosed?
Liver cancer is diagnosed with looking at some of the symptomology that we just discussed, and then you start doing your investigation. So you want to do your blood works. You're looking to see the person's hemoglobin. You're looking at what we call the liver panel or the liver enzymes. A lot of them would be deranged or abnormal, telling you that something is off. Something that we call the total bilirubin, that speaks to jaundice in the blood, that would be increased over time, okay? And the different enzymes and cells abnormality, they start to become more deranged. There are different tumor markers that speaks to liver cancer. We call one alpha fetoprotein. So there are different things that you're going to test for. You also want to look at your hepatitis profile. That's why you'll order those, because remember we said a risk factor is hepatitis B and hepatitis C. So some of those may be positive when you check those. And there are other tumor markers that you can look at. And then of course you would do your imaging study. Your ultrasound can to see that there is a lesion or tumor inside of the liver. It can speak to the fact that the liver is enlarged in size. You can then see things like fluid buildup in the tummy that should not be there. That's what we call ascites. So you're looking at your images like your CT scan. You can even do an MRI, but just with an ultrasound or CT scan, that gives you enough data. And for confirmation of your diagnosis, in this instance, you need tissue from the liver to confirm and to tell you what type of cells that you may see in that, okay?
So is that, when you guys take the biopsy, is it do you guys use the laparoscopy type approach?
Well, yes, you can do it, which is the best, because these patients are already pretty sick, because if you have to open and do a laparotomy, of course, persons who are already that sick, it makes their recovery much more difficult. So something you could do a needle, you can use a needle to do a biopsy and get tissue from the liver. The thing about it, the liver is a big organ and it's usually increased in size. So all you need is just some cells from that to help make a confirmation of the disease.
So how do healthcare providers treat liver cancer?
So once you have this liver cancer, it's a fight now, because the prognosis of liver cancer is in 5 years. The prognosis based on the stage can be as low as 3 to 14% of the survival rate, okay? The treatment would include, if in a very early stage, you can do such thing as resect the tumor, remove that part of the liver, so that's surgery. You can do stuff like chemotherapy, where you try to get chemotherapy to kill the cancerous cells. There's radiation therapy. There's other things like embolization, where you try to get directly to the tumor. You can send radiation directly to the tumor, or chemotherapy. There are different modern and more advanced technology you can do, especially in the early stage, so that you can help increase the survivability of the patient. In advanced cases, a lot of times it's just going to be palliative or supportive care.
Okay. Wow.
It sounds kind of heavy when you talk about that, yeah, because by the time, often or most time, by the time you get to make this diagnosis, this disease is a stage 3 or stage 4, pretty advanced.
And
it
I
would have
guess,
spread to other organs.
And I guess liver transplants are very expensive. And
Liver transplant,
hard to come by, right?
Yeah, you can do that, but that's in a very early stage, and then it's much so expensive. It's so much more complex. You can't do it for everybody, because in a late stage, that person would be well enough to undergo such a major surgical intervention. So you're looking for the ideal patient is that in a very early stage, stage 0, stage 1 of the disease, where you can resect that or remove that liver and get a new tissue or healthy tissue, especially if the person have underlying hepatitis or cirrhosis, where the liver itself is already damaged.
Okay. So, well, that leads me to the next question. If we can't fix it when it happens, how do we prevent it?
Well, how do we prevent it? We spoke about some of the associated risk factors when you have liver cancer. Okay, so you can absolutely prevent any disease, but we can overall help ourselves by doing wellness checks, making sure we eat well, making sure we exercise. You want to, the hepatitis B vaccine that we're given as children, it helps in the prevention of developing hepatitis B. You remember that?
Oh.
You remember some of these vaccines are important. Okay, you want to avoid behaviors that can lead to cirrhosis. Your alcoholism, persons who abuse alcohol, that is one of the strongest associated risk factors to cirrhosis of the liver. You want to curb your sexual behaviors, making sure you're doing protective, using condoms, protective sexual contact, so you do not develop these hepatitis B. You want to be careful not to use any drugs and have these drug paraphernalias and sharing these apparatus in persons who are addicted to illegal substances. So all these would be, you're a smoker, you want to stop smoking. If you consume a lot of alcoholic beverage, you want to cut back or eliminate those. So these are some of the things. Get enough rest, exercise, and making sure you have a healthy lifestyle overall.
Are the hepatitis, are they curable?
A lot of times in the early stage, hepatitis not hepatitis B, it can be acute and it can disappear over a couple of weeks. Your body can eliminate it, but then but if not, it can become chronic, and then it's harder to treat. Hepatitis C, there's some treatment for it, but sometimes most of these things aren't cured once it becomes chronic. And the person have to live with it, the disease.
I thought it was important that you said what you said about being responsible during sexual behavior, because I know those hep viruses are things you can get when you if you're not careful.
If you're not careful, most of the times no, because back in the day it was transmitted through blood that was unscreened and not screened properly and stuff. But right now, most of the blood, it's very rare now because those are screened quite thoroughly. So the contact is usually going to be sexual, or if you're using drug paraphernalia, it's persons who are drug addicts. Okay.
Folks, if you have any calls for the good doctor, give us a call, 466-0989, 762-0989. We're discussing liver cancer. And, so let's see. So in terms of people who drink I'm assuming cirrhosis, for example, would actually compromise the liver's ability to carry out its functions. So
Correct.
I imagine that's
because its cells are
yes.
destroyed and
Yes.
scarred over and stuff. So
Yeah.
yes, so
Okay.
and remember these same cells are responsible for so many functions. Okay, forming different enzymes themselves, responsible for material and platelets formation that helps to with clotting of the blood. You understand? In nutrition, so there are lots of function in cell development, in the formation of bile. Yes, if they're caller.
Yeah, caller, go ahead for the good doctor.
Hello, good morning, doctor.
Hey, good
Dr.
morning.
Husband, this is JC. I hope you're doing well.
Hi, Jay. This is my schoolmate and classmate. Hi, JC.
I just wanted to know if this hepatitis, if they can be transmitted to sharing utensils and so on.
Oh, okay. Good question. No, but those myths have been dispelled. You remember back in the day, if somebody had HIV, you didn't want to touch or share the same utensils that they did. No, that is not. It must have some kind of contamination with body fluids and secretion. So you're not going to likely get it through anything except the direct contact, skin to skin, where there is a break in the skin and your blood particles and your blood elements is contact or exchange one person to the next.
What about kissing? Because I mean, I know with HIV they said that
Very,
the
very
virus,
little.
Yes, the virus is there, but not enough to.
No, I don't think there's much evidence to say that just sharing a kiss with somebody you're going to get hepatitis B or hepatitis C. Not like that. It's not like that so easily. So, but thanks for your call, JC.
Yeah, that was good. That was actually a good question.
Because people sometimes still have the fear of thinking, oh, if somebody has a disease, I need to shun them and so. But that is not correct. We need to support, embrace, but you don't get the disease like that.
You take, for example, you go to, I go to parties where, like, you know, we might be sharing a joint, and sometimes it crosses your mind.
It crosses your mind.
Like,
what does this
and,
person
you know,
have?
Yeah, I mean, it does cross your mind. Even when you see it on movies, you say, oh, everybody does that. But is it really safe?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh,
in general.
In general, it doesn't.
Well, probably
create,
not for hepatitis for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, it's not going to create a major risk. But if you're overall wanting to be, what you call it, if you're a germaphobe and stuff, you don't want to be sharing with random persons and stuff. But in terms of overall health risk, like developing any major transmitted diseases, you're not going to get them by just sharing.
I was just thinking that's one of Trump's only virtues. If being a germaphobe is considered a virtue, because
yes, I've heard that. Yes.
The reason is he likes McDonald's because his thing is they have a very regimented way of the food is done this way and just that way. So he trusts them because of that.
That's
Yeah, that's it. That's why he likes McDonald's and KFC because, it's very weird.
I didn't know that was his reason. I know
weird,
that he doesn't drink alcohol. I know that he doesn't. So he has that certain health element, but then he's eating McDonald's and deep fried foods and stuff. So.
And doesn't exercise. Go ahead, caller. Hello, caller. Okay, I guess that one. He actually said that he doesn't exercise because exercise, he thinks he uses up your life and your life force or some nonsense like that.
Okay, then we're not going to spend too much time talking about
such
Trump.
Nonsense. I know, right? Caller, go right ahead.
Hi, good morning to you both, and I hope all is well so far.
Hi.
Good morning. Go right ahead with your question.
Yes, you talk about smoking being a risk factor. What I would like to know, does this include just cigarette smoking, or it also includes smoking of marijuana? Next question. What are the signs of hepatitis B and C? Those sexually transmitted ones especially. What are the signs? How can someone know that he or she has hepatitis B or has contracted hepatitis B? I listen off air.
Okay, thank you for your question. So, in terms of the literature, and I believe in science, in terms of, she spoke about risk factors associated with smoking. We speak mostly of cigarettes, tobaccos. That is what the science have shown. The information is still yet to come as persons are studying more things about marijuana, because all may not be as rosy as we think, but information is still come and as the science evolve. But when we speak about smoking, we usually focus on cigarette smoking and tobacco, okay, which has been proven. So the other part of the young lady's question was knowing how do you, if you've contracted this hepatitis virus. A lot of times you do not know. A lot of times the symptoms are very mild. You may have this fatigue, you may have some fever, a little bit of abdominal discomfort that you brush it off. Usually you would know if you went to do some screening, blood tests, and you start saying, oh, doc, let's do my annual checks, let's screen for everything. And then you'll see that you do your hepatitis B and it comes back positive, things like that. But a lot of times the symptoms are so vague, you may not know. Sometimes you just have some nausea, some vomits. Usually hepatitis A is not included as a sexual. That is food contaminated. So you have nausea, vomits, and stuff, little discomfort. That usually resolves hepatitis B and C after some kind, especially B when it comes to sexual contact. Yes, you may not know. You have a little bit of malaise, what we call feeling ill. And that goes away. So you may not know until you do your workup and your screening.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, maybe that's the wrong way to put it.
The information is good to know, but not having the virus. So you have to be very careful.
But just to say, I figure it's probably not a good idea to burn anything and inhale it, right? I mean, no matter how good that plant or whatever it is.
My personal belief is that we weren't meant to be smoking, because you inhale this, it is changing the lining of your lungs, the lining of your trachea, those linings. They weren't meant to be having these substances.
Smoke inhalation kills for a reason.
Yes,
right? So why would we think
Why would we think that?
Smoking marijuana.
Yes. So, but I'm not going to be debating anyone about that. Because everybody still, and as I said, as the science evolves, we'll know more about what the changes and the effects of the marijuana and stuff. Some of this would come over decades and stuff, and we'll get a lot more information on it.
Okay.
All right.
So I give you got like 2 minutes left. So I give you the 2 minutes to you tight up nice and
okay. Yes. Well, always thanks to everyone for listening. So in summary, though, this topic, it may seem rare with liver cancer, but we're seeing an increase in uptake, and we're seeing a general increase in a lot of these cancers overall. It is becoming alarming that we have such a small community, over 50,000 people.
Want to take a call?
Yes, if there was a caller, we can take that call.
Caller, go right ahead.
Hey guys, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning, Carl Brown here. A question. Also, what about cigar and blunt smoking? What about the inhaling of oil, gases, diesels? What about like when you're welding, the inhaling and the dust and sanding? When you're sanding like metal and wood and things, what kind of effect that does on your body in terms of cancer?
Maybe you need to do a separate one on inhalation. Long
yeah,
problems,
because a lot of these stuff that he speaks about would have long-term effects of us, and they can increase your risk of certain types of lung cancer, mesothelioma, and different types of lung pathologies. Okay, we spoke about the fact just mentioned blunt and cigars. We said any type of smoking, especially cigars and tobaccos and cigarettes, those increase your risk of most cancers. You can always throw it in there as a risk factor. And a lot of these other elements that we come in contact with, we're still not sure what their contribution is to different diseases, but their effects on a lot of this. In terms of liver cancer, though, there wasn't any description. There's no description in the science in terms of there being any risk factor. He's talking about inhaling dust and particles and gasoline and things like that. It's not described as a major risk factor. You will have to look each cancer individually and the associated risk factors. That's what I would say. But a lot of these elements that we're coming in contact with, they may be doing some damage over time that later on you don't know there's genetic changes right down at the cellular level. And we may never know exactly all of the contributing factors, because we know that lung cancer is on the rise. Lots of persons now who are developing lung cancer have never smoked one day in their lives. So all of these, there are other factors that are associated with, but everything usually is genetic at the end of the day because there are changes in a level, your cellular level. So you just don't know who's going to get what, no matter how healthy a person is. But lots of persons develop cancer, lung cancer, and they've never smoked in their life.
I just find it interesting that you said that the incidences of these are going up.
They're going up.
Liver cancer going up. So it makes you wonder if the diet has something to do with it. I mean, you did one of the things you did say we should try and do.
The aflatoxins and stuff, that's a risk factor, yes. So, diet is always going to be a factor in a lot of these diseases. We don't know in terms of whether it is a major, the level of contribution, but it does, because we know that all these processed food that we're using over time, 100 years ago, a lot of these diseases were not there because we weren't having all these toxins and preservatives and stuff that are in food now.
Exactly.
Weren't there once ago. And also we are much more aware now, so we're making much more diagnosis of some of these diseases. Remember, your great-grandparent might have passed away and you never knew what they died of, because a lot of times people never did a lot of investigations as well. They were very secretive a lot, So thanks always for the questions and the support. So liver cancer, always keep that in mind. Always get your annual health checks and stuff, because you could start picking up early changes if you do your routine blood changes. You see changes in your liver enzymes that may prompt a further investigation. Do you understand? Because the earlier diagnosis is made, the better chances that to increase your survivability. So we wish everyone a lovely day. Thank you always for listening to the show and supporting us. Our job is always to educate. Okay.
And you do a damn good job, I gotta say.
So have a wonderful day, people.
Okay, folks, that's it for Weekly Dose. Dr. Not, I have not seen your moment or what? Okay, and she's going to be back next Tuesday for another Guarana on Weekly Dose. Have a great day, Doc.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a great day.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
It's new and only at ICWI, the insurance company of the West Indies. Receive free windscreen cover when you purchase your third-party policy with ICWI. You heard right. Free windscreen cover with your third-party policy for only a limited time. If you're a third-party policy holder, take advantage of this limited time offer and switch to ICWI for added protection. Isn't it time you experience insurance the ICWI way? Conditions apply. Click, call, or visit ICWI today. Visit us at 1C Bird Rock Road. Call 465-8753 or ICWI.com.
Get ready to celebrate Dad in style with our Father's Day savings and wellness celebration at Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store and Hortford's Building and Neva Center. From June 13th to 15th, treat Dad and save big with our amazing deals and special offers. At Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store, enjoy 25% off refrigerators, TVs, and freezers, plus double cash back for free groceries on all higher purchases. prices. But wait, there's more. At Horsford's Building and NEFA Center, take advantage of 25% off store-wide on everything you need to spruce up your home. And mark your calendars for Saturday, June 15th, because we're hosting a men's health and wellness fair at our Horsford's Building and NEFA Centers from 9 a.m. to noon. Join us for free diabetes, HIV, and blood pressure checks, PSA tests, and much more. Happy Father's Day from Horsford, where treating dad and saving big go hand in hand.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the doorway or any exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WINFM.
It's 30 minutes after 9 o'clock. ILT continues. I'm all on my own. We've had AZ had to go out to court, And of course, Kortensia is also off this week. Okay, well, AZ was telling me just before we left that we had, I think we had yet another shooting. Apparently, it's Keyshawn Carty from Sadler's Village. So, in case persons hadn't known, people hadn't known that we had another shooting in Sadler's, and Keyshawn Carty has been killed by gunshot. Not a very pleasant announcement to be making. And we just wonder when we're gonna get a stop to this madness. But on the lighter side of things, I just wanted to comment on the fact that we kind of mentioned this last week, but it bears mentioning again. I think this is a extremely momentous occasion in our history, and I don't know if it's been getting enough. I don't know if it's been getting the fanfare it deserves. For decades, I mean, I'm not even someone that follows cricket like that, but for decades, I've always heard the stories and the wails of war about the fact that we have had all these great cricketers over the years who have never made it to the West Indies. Livingston Sargent, the Harrises, Sherlin Williams, Luther Kelly, Noel Gishad, all these Victor Eddy, all these names, Austin Eddy even. I've heard all these stories about all these missed opportunities for kittitions, and by kittitions I mean, because in cricket, especially in the Leeward Islands, the islands play separately. So we've had people from Nevis, but I don't think enough can be said about the fact that we now have our very first kittition on the West Indies team, and I'm talking about Mikhail Louis. He makes history. He's Sankit's first player selected for West Indies team, for West Indies Test cricket. And so let me read this article. This comes from St. Kitts Nevis Times. In a groundbreaking moment for St. Kitts cricket, Mikhail Louis has etched his name in history. Now, I know this was announced last week, but as I said, too fine a point can't be put on this kind of dam-breaking event, I gotta say. This has never happened before, and I really thought I would have heard a lot more fanfare about the fact that Mikhail Louis has made it to the West Indies team. So like I was saying, he was recognized for his impressive straight drives and unwavering focus. Louis's inclusion in the West Indies Test cricket team is a well-deserved honor. It symbolizes the culmination of years of hard work and dedication. Absolutely. Caller, you're on the air.
Good morning, Trevor.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning, Jamster.
Hey,
good
what's
morning.
up?
Forgive me.
It's fine. It's fine.
Forgive me.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm not like those self-important people over in the courthouse. It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. But trust me, they're all over in society.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Trevor, but as usual gonna make you angry. You know that. But still, it is. The struggle is real.
Let me hear.
What I'm going to say first, though, congratulations to the gentleman who made the West Indies team. Even though I'm not really a cricket fan, trust me, I don't even know a family when it comes to cricket, but still, I would like to give him some congratulations for such an achievement. You say he's the first, right?
Yeah, he's the first.
Yes, well, congratulations to him, and I wish him all the best in all of his endeavors, but just do it to the glory of Jesus Christ, above all else. Now, on another point, concerning crimes and so on, this is where we're going to start to get you angry, Trevor. Not just about many others as well. As I've always been saying, and I will always repeat, Trevor, we will not be able to solve our problems
including crime problems and all of our other problems, unless we start to do things the Bible way, Trevor. Jamster. And the way we are doing things right now, everything we are doing, or almost everything, is just contrary to the Bible. Our gun laws, amnesty, the whole package, just contrary to the Bible. I mean, with all due respect, Miss Jamster, with all due respect, if I am a criminal and I commit murders with my gun, and I want to get rid of my gun, do I need an amnesty to get rid of it? If I want to get rid of it, that's the easiest thing to do. I don't need an amnesty. So to me, amnesty is just symbolism over substance. You just do something to say you're doing something. No criminal need any amnesty to get rid of any weapon. That's very easy to do. But unless we start to do things the Bible way, Trevor.
But I could see it. I could see it. I mean, it's no different. It's no different to take, for example, you may be behind on some tax, and revenue says, okay, we know there are a bunch of people, but we're gonna give you a chance to come in and pay, and you don't have to pay the say interest and the fines and so on. You can look at it like that, and that doesn't that provide an incentive, because it's not that you don't want to pay, right? You may have slipped you, and you're like, oh my God, I have to go and pay that, and then I have to pay all the fines and stuff, and you're like, oh my God, I don't have money for that right now. But then if you know that, okay, I'm just gonna pay what I owe, or they might even give me a payment plan where maybe I pay 75% or 50% of what I owe, and if I pay it off by a certain time, okay, that's incentive to go and pay it, because it's not that I don't want to pay it, it's just that circumstances. So why is that?
It's a difference. You see, it's a difference, Trevor. It's a difference, Jamster. It's a difference, because the difference is this: with the inland situation, that's the only way I could deal with the situation. If I need some taxes dropped or reduced.
But why?
There's no other way to deal with it with the inland revenue situation.
But
with the gun situation,
No, but here's what I'm thinking: if you say if the government announces, if the authorities announce, okay, we're gonna give you a gun, and you could very well have people who are maybe guilty of doing dastardly things with those guns, and it might very well be heavy on their consciences, and they could be saying, boy, or you could have someone who may have seen where someone hit a gun, and they're like, I think I'm going to hand in that gun, because psychologically this gives me license to do something I normally wouldn't have done, because I might have been afraid of maybe the person seeing me or whatever. I think there's something to be said for that, for the kind of frame of mind that kind of appeal sets up psychologically, right?
Jamster, if you want to get rid of a gun, it's very easy to get rid of a gun. You don't need no amnesty. It's very, very easy to get rid of a gun. Unlike the inland revenue situation, where
so then how do you explain? So how do you explain successful gun amnesties at other times and in other places?
It is known, for example, very known, for example, that when you give, well, we didn't give money, but there are times when we have done that. And other places, when they give money for
No, I'm talking about not in the cases where they give money, because obviously if they give money, then we know what's going on there, as far as the imperative to give up a gun. There have been cases where they just said, listen, we want to get some guns off the street, bring in the guns, no side eye, nothing to worry about, and it's been successful. It just hasn't happened this last few times. Why do you think that is?
Well, again, the only other time where I know a lot of people bring in their gun, for example, in Australia, for example, you had lax gun laws, but you had to register your gun. And when they start to make harsher gun laws, they said, we have an amnesty, bring in your guns. where people were forced to bring in the guns because they already had the guns registered with the government. So they were forced to bring in the guns in that case. But I don't have any.
Yeah, but that's a little different.
Right,
You're
but
asking
I
people to
don't
bring
have
in registered guns. That doesn't really make sense.
No, because guns that were registered were now made illegal by harsher laws. So the Australian government was saying these guns that were previously legal, because of the harsher laws that we have made, a lot of them now has become illegal. So, you know, we ain't gonna lock you up immediately because we know it's gonna take a transition because they were previously legal and registered. So bring them in, we give you an amnesty to bring them in.
You know what I was just thinking, right? I was just half jokingly thinking that Australia is like the last place on earth. Anyone should have harsh gun laws, given how crazy the animals are over there, right? Everything wants to kill you in Australia.
Yes, that is very true.
That's funny.
Everything wants to kill you over there. That is very true. Very true.
That is funny.
But that's the only other time I know you could say, well, okay, the amnesty yielded a lot of guns submitted. But I do not know of any amnesty where criminals submitted a lot of guns other than if they know they're going to get money in return to buy better guns.
But now, Gregory, I want to play a clip here. And my issue, I've always said I wish one of the things that's being said is that everyone bemoans the fact that they think the authorities aren't doing a good job in figuring out how the guns are coming in, because you could say the gun runners and the criminals are so crafty and creative. Now, here's a story here from New York of a very creative way of gun running. I'm going to play this now. Check this out.
Selling a whole lot more than just meals inside.
Take a look at the drugs and the guns that police say were hidden in takeout containers. 30 people were busted. Cops say the ring made millions selling narcotics and weapons out of a supposed food truck parked in downtown Newburgh.
Investigators say they busted one of the largest drug operations in the history of Orange County. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis.
The lot across the street from Newburgh City Court is the spot for food trucks, but one regular is missing. The Real Spice truck has been relocated to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, not to serve up Jamaican food. It's been seized because of other items that were for sale.
It sold food, it sold guns, and it sold cocaine. And Mr. Salmon was the epicenter of that.
That would be 42-year-old Kirkland Salmon, one of 30 people arrested in what's considered the largest gun trafficking and drug bust in Orange County. Named Operation Hot Lunch, investigators spent 6 months purchasing illegal guns, firearms that were often packaged in food containers. The guns were brought up from North Carolina, the drugs from Florida. Officials say what set this enterprise apart was the level of complexity, a 4-tiered system, sophistication that had never been seen before.
The money of this organization moved around with ease. It was invested into real estate, property, and crypto, in properties in Orange County and other things.
Prosecutors say a barbershop served as a stash house for some of the proceeds, estimated to be over $3 million a year. Nearly 40 different law enforcement agencies took part in the investigation, including the ATF and the NYPD, which had some of its undercover officers make purchases.
Fighting crime knows no bounds, whether it's Brooklyn, Buffalo, or anywhere in between. If you're trafficking illegal guns and drugs, we will bring you to justice.
Some of the suspects face up to 25 years in prison. In Newburgh, Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
So there you have it. People actually selling guns out of a food truck and a Jamaican guy, as usual, making us look bad. A food truck selling food, selling guns, selling drugs. Now, the creativity of criminals knows no bounds. So clearly the authorities have to be doing a better job of figuring out how the guns are getting in here. One of the things, there was a story, there's an apocryphal story. Let me say apocryphal now, just for the sake of not getting in trouble, because St. Kitts is the only place on the planet where stuff actually happens, and if you actually dare to talk about it, you get in trouble. There's an apocryphal story going around about a tiger being loose on the Southeast Peninsula. Now, wait for it. Okay, we don't know if it's true or not. I actually got it from an actual official. All right? No, I can't give you any names. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably true. Now, some people are poo-pooing and saying, well, how could someone possibly get a tiger into the country? Hey, this is easy. The Southeast Peninsula has a whole bunch of, it has marinas. It's not exactly properly policed by the Coast Guard. So the same way the guns can come in anywhere, the guns can pretty much come in anywhere on the coast. Southeast Peninsula, we don't know what goes on with these yachts and all that. So I was making the case that, well, you think that it's so difficult for a conceited rich person to bring in a tiger if they want it? When people have money, they do all sorts of crazy stuff. If you guys been following what's been going on with Diddy, when some people get money, they get crazy. So if you guys think it's that hard to get guns or even a tiger into St. Kitts, I know I'm sounding a little crazy right now, but I'm just gonna put it out there. I can think of a dozen ways someone could get a tiger into the country via the Southeast Peninsula. But clearly I can't think of all the ways that people could get guns into the country. I never thought I would hear a story where someone was actually selling guns and drugs out of a food truck along with food. I rest my case. So we have a guest coming up next. We're gonna hook up with the guest in a bit and we'll come right back.
Attention, savvy shoppers. It's that time of year again to upgrade your home and feed your family with Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. For over 25 years, we've been making dreams come true by offering cashback coupons for free groceries on all hire purchases. That's right, we've given away over $1 million worth of groceries to our loyal customers. And this year, it's your time to cash in on the savings. Whether you're in the market for a new sofa, a sleek kitchen upgrade, or a cozy bedroom set, Hortford's and Ashley Furniture Home Store have everything you need to turn your house into a home. And when you make a higher purchase with us, you'll receive cashback coupons redeemable for free groceries. Yes, sir. So why wait? Visit Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Upgrade your home, feed your family, and save big with cashback coupons for free groceries. Only at Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put your Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. He are a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum a for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink responsibly.
Well, I've got two guests. I'm just wondering which hat he's wearing this morning. Sometimes he wears the happiness hat. He's not hearing me. Okay, so we got Ruckus HE and his workmate. And they are here from Creative Economy. Going to be rapping with them in a bit.
So glad to see that you're with me. So yeah, we mashing up the road. It's carnival again. It's carnival again. Can you see the beautiful costumes? Can you see the people all over town? Can you see the people that waving until they cannot stop? They're ready to wine, they're ready to wave. Every time I get, they on misbehave. They're ready to wine, they're ready to wave. From St. Lucia to Antigua, we can't stop at all. Whoa, yeah, it's carnival again. Whoa, yeah, it's carnival again. Mega J to Mega J, Market Street to ARJ. Oh gosh, the band is sweet. It's carnival again. Put your costume on, let we have some fun. Yes, the party's on. Thinking about you night and day, this feeling is very rare. I know that you got a lead in my heart, I want you to stay. With right in the atmosphere, soon you gonna run away. Just to another year, until we meet again. They're ready to wine, they're ready to wave. Every time I get, they on misbehave. They're ready to wine, they're ready to wave. From St. Lucia to Antigua, we can't stop at all. Whoa, yeah, it's carnival.
Well, it's time to go. I've got Ruckus in studio. And Grandmasters is getting ready to drop their summer album. No, I'm kidding. That's not the reason. No. What's up?
No, that's definitely not the reason why we're here today.
So I know you're going to tell us.
Yes, of course.
And you got company as well.
Of course. So today I'm here as the Marketing and Communications Officer in the Department of Creative Economy. And I'm here with...
Karina Dore.
Yes, Karina Dore. And we are here to share some information from the Department of Creative Economy as we have our inaugural Creative Arts Convention coming up August 31st to September 7th. All right, and now persons might be wondering, convention, like, what is this? What is this convention all about? And so our convention again, it's from the 31st of August to the 7th of September. And this is where we're going to have regional and international facilitators. And we are not talking about any small facilitators here. We are talking about top of the top facilitators in the different disciplines such as music, film and media, theater, visual arts, photography, yes.
All over.
Yes.
We are catering to all disciplines, and even if we don't have a facilitator for your discipline, even if we don't have a facilitator for your discipline, we have fringe activities there that you can participate in and showcase your creativity at our Creative Power Arts Convention. And just to reiterate, the dates are August 31st to September 7th, 2024, and it's going to be over at Marriott Resort Hotel. So get your money ready, get your car ready, get your Ubers ready, because this is something that you
don't want to miss.
Won't want to miss, because
you don't want to miss it. You definitely don't want to miss it. And of course, our aim with this convention is to make sure that our creatives get the opportunity to strengthen their skill set, of course, and be able to sustain themselves within the orange economy, and again, this convention will be taking place at the Marriott, and we have some really big names that are going to be coming into St. Kitts, and these facilitators, they are going to be doing workshops, one-on-one sessions, lecture. They're also going to be doing master classes. So
just know that the price, I mean, it's affordable. Once you save your money.
Of course. So, guys, we are inviting you to our convention again on the 31st of August to the 7th of September. It's a week-long celebration of creativity. All right. So, guys, make sure that you are there. But, of course, if you need more information on the convention coming up on the 20th of June, we're going to be having our press conference where we are going to be launching all of our facilitators. And so we don't want to say too much about the facilitators because, we are leaving that as a surprise. And trust me, I know for a fact that you will be there. When you hear who we are bringing,
you ain't got no choice but
you
to
will
run
be there. Trust me. And it's really big names. Like we have an international producer, music producer.
And we ain't forget about our photography people.
Of course.
Keep like the videos and photos going at events. So we have a big photographer and film editor coming to teach you guys about,
And not only that, we have a well-known actress.
Cool.
No. I am making sure that people over there so you understand what we're doing.
It's funny because just before you spoke about the press conference next week, I was actually about to ask you if you can name some of the facilitators. Okay, I'm kind of excited now. So the big convention coming up on the 31st. In terms of people wanting to sign up, I imagine you guys will have more on that next week. But people might want to sign up before.
Well, once we launch on the 20th, which is next week Thursday, after our press conference, then you will be able to start signing up. You will see the prices for the full week because, like I said, it's a week-long convention.
It's a full week.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a full week. And I think we can share this information. Classes will run from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. And, of course, there will be different classes happening at the same time.
So
And
you
also
could choose which class or which session that you would like to partake in. So make sure that you're on the lookout and that you tune in to our press conference on June 20th. The timing starts 10. And if you can't come, that's fine. We got you covered.
We live.
Oh, it's going to be live, but
Yes,
but
it's going to be live on Facebook and YouTube, and we are working on getting it live on Instagram so that everybody is fully informed so that they can come.
but then what are we paying for then? Because if I can watch it on Facebook and
No.
The convention.
The conference is going to be.
Oh, the convention. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
The conference is free.
Conference. I'm confused. Oh, wait.
The press conference.
Oh, the press
which is
conference.
next week.
Yeah. Of course.
So
Okay.
that will be live.
Okay, yeah.
And so if you can't be there in person, of course, you can you can log on to our YouTube channel, Facebook, and of course we are working on Instagram as well.
So
that
sneak aware.
Yes, so
on
you
your
can get the
break time,
information.
sneak aware. Go in the bathroom. It's just gonna be an hour.
You want to hear it, eh? Trust me.
You don't want to miss, because it's some exciting details that we'll be revealing to you guys. It gonna make you go, me fatters, yeah.
Trust me. Because, I mean, we are even bringing somebody who is going to be dealing with event promotions. Well-known event promoter will be here. And again, these persons are coming to basically have workshops. And so our creatives can learn from these facilitators, learn how they made it in the business, how did they start, what were the steps that they took. And of course, we are trying to get them to pass this knowledge on to our creatives here. And of course, it is a networking opportunity as well to meet and greet these people. And of course, at our fringe activities, of course, you will be able to mingle with these people, have conversations with these people.
And even if you don't get to meet like the facilitators per se, you get to meet other creatives like yourself. So it's not just local creatives that you're meeting. You're meeting persons from the regional sector, from the international sector. So you get to form bonds and friendship over the convention. So I think it's a win-win situation regardless.
Okay.
So
And again, it's a full week. Remember, it's a full week.
So-
One full week. So some of you might want to take a vacation.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're gonna have a workshop with each of these experts in their field. But
Yes.
then I'm hoping you're gonna have like a sit down with all of them on stage where everyone can come and ask some questions.
Right.
and-
We have a panel discussion
okay.
there, so they'll be able to ask whatever questions necessary for them.
Okay. Another question is, I hope it's going to be properly
Organized.
filmed and produced so that it
Yes.
can be,
Yes,
it can
yes.
be replayed.
Yes.
It can be replayed
Yes.
on Create TV and stuff
Yes,
like that.
yes, it will be.
Okay.
It
All
will
right.
be. We have our creatives who are going to be there, and of course you can stay tuned to our our socials, and of course you will be able to even stay up to date while it's happening.
Right.
Okay.
You ain't gonna miss a beat.
You will be able to stay up to date while it's happening. So let's say, man, this morning you're running a little bit late. Of course, you can take a glimpse of what is happening. Of course, you're not going to be able to see what is like what's actually
The full
taking place.
extent,
But you can see, oh, okay, then he's talking now. Okay, cool.
I guess we're gonna find out how creative people really are. With the excuses is some people are gonna come with to get off work.
No, I mean,
Take a vacation. That's all I could say.
no, trust me. Like you would definitely need to be there. You would need to make sure that you are there for this convention. I mean, it's something that we are really working hard on.
As you can see, I'm not even dressed in my work attire. I've been working.
No sleep is happening right now. No sleep is happening right now. If you rest your head, you might get a 5 minutes, but that's it. You're back up.
Burning the midnight
Yeah,
oil.
we're trying to make sure that everything is organized, and so that when you come, everything is smooth. because again, persons might also want to ask, like, so how are we going to have all of these classes with some of them happening at the same time? Like, what if
like you might have people might want to attend more than one, but and maybe
yes,
but
you can definitely do that, because we are going to make sure that we are not that we don't clash the disciplines. We are going to make sure that we don't clash the disciplines. So if you're into film and media, you know, we probably might have something for maybe visual arts or something totally different.
Let me ask a question. The fee, is it going to be a blanket fee where you just go and you attend as many workshops as you want, or you have to?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We have two, actually. We have a weekly pass and we have a
daily
pass.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So if you
Right.
can't make it for the full week, of course, you can decide which days you are going to attend, and of course there will be a schedule that will help you to decide which day you would want to go on, or if you can do the full week, then you do the full week.
Okay.
So all of that will be posted, and so you will be able to make an informed decision.
Sounds good. Okay, so folks, coming up on the 31st, don't forget next week they're going to have the press conference all about this. And this department is the Department of Creative Economy, right?
Yes.
Okay. And just before you go, for people who don't know, explain what orange economy means, because when you said it earlier, I know what it means, but you know there are a lot of people who may not have heard the term. So explain that for them briefly.
Okay, so the orange economy is basically for our creatives that dabble in the different disciplines such as performing arts, visual arts, film and media, culinary arts, cosmetic arts, innovation and gaming and what's not. So the orange economy is centered around that area, and the purpose of the Department of Creative Economy is to foster growth, economic growth in the orange economy to help improve our economy.
Yes, of course, of course. And so we are here to make sure that we help our creatives to grow, and that is what we want to see. And that's why we have been having like our training workshops, making sure that we give our creative the opportunity to understand the business side of it. Like when we like recently we had workshops which covered like grant proposal writing, you know,
a small introduction into business, the fundamentation, if that's a word, of the business. We spoke on marketing, we spoke on different aspects, how you can balance work life and also have your personal life. So we create workshops that are for our creatives to help them improve and be better in the industry, the new industry.
And something that we have to note as well, because this has been a big thing for our creatives. we have been we were providing grants, and I have to say because this month is actually the last month in which you can actually apply for our grant. All right? This is the last month that you can do that. So you have up until the 15th of this month in which to send in your proposal. And after this month, that's it until next year when we come again with more grant opportunities. And so the grants that we have offering right now goes up to $15,000. $15,000 is actually the max. But again, this month is actually the last month in which you can apply for a grant. All right? Goes up to $15,000, guys. And this is where you can use this money to, you know, to help to advance your skills, also to advance your business as well. But of course, again, you have until the 15th of this month in which to send in your proposals.
Correct.
But of course, people got to keep their ears peeled for next week, June the 20th.
Yes, June 20th.
Next week,
Thursday.
Thursday, right?
Next week, Thursday.
20th.
Our press conference, which is from 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
Which is going to outline all this stuff.
Yes, it's going to outline everything. And of course, WINNFM will be carrying it live as well. So, so you can stay tuned. You can stay tuned. You can definitely stay tuned for that. And I am now telling management, I know management is somewhere in the building listening, so I am saying it now. WINNFM will be carrying it live.
Okay, just send the check. Just send the check, no problem. That's cool.
Yes, of course. So, guys, again, next week, Thursday, the 20th of June, it's our press conference. And for those of you who would like to know anything about our upcoming convention, that is where you need to be next week, Thursday. You need to make sure that you tune in. Of course, we are going to be live on all of our social media platforms. And so you can stay up to date. You can take a listen to who we will be bringing in. And it's 20 plus facilitators, eh? Like, it's a lot.
20 plus?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
20 plus facilitators. So for those of you who are interested in makeup and these kind of things, like we have a bad MUA coming, so
what's MUA?
Makeup artist.
Makeup artist.
Okay.
Yes. And so yes, we have a bad MUA coming. We have somebody who's going to be dealing with film and media photography. We have somebody who will be dealing with the music side of things. Actually, I think we have a few persons who will actually be dealing with music. And right now we are trying to make sure that we lock down somebody who will be dealing with stage lighting. So we are covering everything. We're making sure that we have somebody for everybody.
Okay. Sounds good.
And so everybody has a reason to come and learn something, so that you can understand how you can grow. Because sometimes we feel like we know it all until you hear somebody say something like, "Boy, I didn't know that." Don't ever feel like
you know everything.
You know everything, and you can't learn.
Correct.
Like you have reached your limit. Trust me. There are so much things out there. Like somebody could teach you how to do something in a different way, like a completely different way, a way that you never thought about. And that just might be the one thing that help you to propel your business and become successful.
Well, I think you guys just made a lot of creatives happy, and a lot of people's brains are working overtime to figure out how they're not gonna work their shifts next week. Well, on August 31st. That's what I meant. August 31st. Yeah.
Man, just take a vacation, man. It's summer vacation. Okay. Take a summer vacation. It's at the end of August. Into September. That's August 31st to the 7th of September. Guys, we are looking forward to seeing you. But before we reach to that, next week, Thursday, again, is our press conference from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Guys, make sure that you are there. Make sure you tune in and get all the information about our inaugural Creative Power Arts Convention.
Okay. This sounds like it might be something annual. Probably. Maybe. Periodical at least. Even if it's not every year.
Social media
Follow up.
And you'll get all the information that you need.
Okay. Okay, guys, that was great. So I look forward to hearing the rest of the rest of the big announcements in terms of who the facilitators and so on, and who all these big shots in the creative world are. So I'm gonna be waiting for next week Thursday.
All right.
Okay, and then on to August 31st.
Yes.
All right. Good to have you.
All right.
Feel the magic happening.
Campari.
Taste.
Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune into On the Ball, a weekly tour show which is on Win FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Biff Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Biff Mills on Win FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball.
Well, we got 2 minutes until 10 o'clock. So we're going to be shutting it down now. We're going to be having an episode of Spin Cycle coming up next. And we're happy to welcome on board Sankey's Music Festival. Spin Cycle for 1 hour coming up. So don't forget, next Thursday, you can join us. Probably we're going to be carrying that press conference by the Department of Creative Economy. And they're going to give you the big setup for the big convention on August 31st. So I'm looking forward to hear who these facilitators are. Sounds like it's going to be off the chain. Okay, so I was looking for some comments I wanted to read before I left. Okay. Now, concerning the the gun stuff we were talking about earlier, someone says, I can understand when people feel like authorities are not doing enough. Of course, for example, in my house, if anybody tells me they can't find something, I get highly annoyed because I know they are not looking properly because the house is only so big. So unless it's went out in the garage, it should be in the house somewhere. So police and whoever else need to just look and search properly. Use technology and whatever means to search, and search well. And be unorthodox with it, because the criminals are getting crazy and creative. The guys who are suspect for having guns getting guns in get a chance to rest well. I don't understand that last part, but I take the point. So it's 10 o'clock. This is where I'm going to be shutting it down for Island Tea. We got Spin Cycle coming up next. Hope you guys can join us tomorrow for Island Tea. Hopefully Chevrish will join us tomorrow. And just in case you guys don't know, Kortensia is actually off this week. So stay tuned for the Spin Cycle.